All right, we'll call this meeting to order. Our first item of business is retiree insurance 2025 first read. Melissa Isaac.
All right, you should have received the retiree insurance benefit recommendation in the board packet. We review our retiree participation every year, and it continues to be a very valuable benefit. At this time, we are recommending an extension of this benefit through fall 2029. As of September 1st, we will have 169 CMCSS retirees participating with an annual board cost projected at $793,051.05.
Anybody got any questions? Okay. All righty, thank you. Moving on. Montgomery County Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan first read.
Board, every 5 years, the Multi-Jurisdictional Hazard Mitigation Plan must be updated. This update has been completed and approved by FEMA, but requires the governing body of each member to confirm by resolution. This is the fourth update of the plan that includes the City of Clarksville and CMCSS. The 2025 update revisions were due to updated data, changes in terminology, and certain areas were rewritten for clarification, but there are no substantial changes to this plan.
Okay. Got any questions? Okay. All right, item 3, resolution budget amendment, first read. Jeff Taylor.
Good evening, everyone. This is pretty simple. This is all in relation to teacher bonus pay. We have received a little over $5.9 million from the state of Tennessee for the teacher bonus pay that was approved by the state. So all the line items you see on this will be in relation to the salary and benefits. We've appropriated a little bit extra. We have, I think, 3 or 4 that are under appeal, so we may receive additional funding once those appeals have been completed at the state level. But that is pretty much all this is just for the teacher bonus pay.
This does not include the appeals.
We've appropriated money to include the appeals just in case they get overturned.
Mr. Garland.
I have the teachers. Are the teachers satisfied with this amount that the state is sending?
I can't really answer that question. It's additional money, so I would hope they're pleased with it.
Additional money doesn't mean that it's sufficient to cover all the expenses that they're going to incur.
True. But that's not a question I can answer for you, to be honest.
Okay. Well, that's the teachers. Thank you.
Anybody else? All right, thank you. All righty, item 4, goal 6, provide targeted professional learning aligned to the roles of certified and classified staff, particularly those who directly support students.
Yes, I'd like to have Tina Smith come up and talk to us about Goal 6.
Good evening, Board. My name is Tina Smith. I'm the Director of Professional Learning. Tonight I'm going to talk to you about Goal 6, as Dr. Lunevetter just said. It falls under the umbrella of maximizing employee capacity. This year's goal, we're going to work to provide targeted professional learning that is aligned to the roles of both our certified and classified employees, but we're paying particular attention to those roles that directly support students. Since we're so early into the 25-26 school year, I'm going to start off by highlighting just a little bit of last year's work to work up to this year and how we're going to achieve this year's goal as well. So to start off, let's look at the amount of learning that happened with our employees last year. They earned over 239,000 hours of professional learning just within the district. That's not counting the learning that they may have done outside of the district. A lot of learning is wonderful, but we have to ensure that the learning is high quality learning. So one of the things that we're doing to ensure the learning is high quality is by focusing on our facilitators. We're ensuring that all of our facilitators who work and present district learning have a network of support to work through two phases that we have right now of what we call facilitating district learning. It's a course where they come together to learn the baseline expectations of what adult learning should look like in the district. And they have time to work together to reflect on their current practices, to work to refine those, and give each other feedback to help learn and grow together to continue to improve. Another way that we're ensuring that the learning is high quality is by looking at the feedback that we receive from the participants in that learning. So here you can see responses to 4 of the questions from the surveys that they receive after each learning event. Each of them have 96 or 97% agreement that the learning is aligned, it's engaging, they have opportunities to collaborate around the strategies that they're learning, and that they're walking away feeling ready to put that learning into practice, which is the most important part of professional learning. We're always looking at our data points and our feedback to make sure that we're providing the right learning, just like teachers do in the classroom with their students. So one of the things that we did last year, we noticed as we were approaching the summer last year, that what we had originally planned for our ELA and math middle school teachers wasn't exactly the learning that they needed at the time. So we came back together, we redesigned their learning and led them through the symposium learning over the summer, which proved to be very successful, so much so that we were able to come back and provide 3 additional sessions throughout the year, which we called P3 sessions. You can see some of the feedback here from those teachers, letting us know that it helped to better write assessments, develop better instruction, what a valuable use of their time it was, and that they were walking away ready to implement the strategies that they learned in the classroom with the students, which is what we want to see with high-quality professional learning. So moving into this year, as soon as the students left us in May, we started working on our learning to prepare for the 25-26 school year. We came together in the first full week of June for learning. While many of our educators were still working with students at that time in our summer learning program, we were still able to pull over 1,400 adults together from positions all throughout the district, and came together to learn over 10,000 hours of learning this summer to prepare for this school year. It takes a lot of different learning to be able to target professional learning to each of the roles that are out there. So just in that summer learning conference, there were 436 unique course offerings. So that totaled out to 764 different classes. Some have to be offered more than one time, so everyone has access to the learning that they need. One of our focuses this year was to enhance our administrator courses as well. We've offered administrator courses during our summer learning for quite a few years now, but this year we really wanted to make sure that we had courses that were aligned to their specific needs as well. We were able to offer them 22 courses, which went over very well and got a lot of good feedback. So in working towards Goal 6 this year, one of our areas of focus is to continue to develop our facilitator capacity. So the Facilitating District Learning course that I mentioned earlier, we're going to continue to make sure that everyone who presents adult learning at the district level has been through those first 2 phases of learning. We're going to work to develop a 3rd phase of learning this year so we can continue to grow and improve together. We have other structures in place, like our Teacher Leader Academy. Those participants learn how to facilitate adult learning. They work on a problem of practice all throughout the year to improve student achievement, and then they share those results with their peers during our summer learning as well. Additionally, another way that we are able to build facilitator capacity is around collaborations that we have with other departments. So an example there, we are currently working with the transportation department. We came together to work with them last year and developed 4 learning modules for our bus drivers. We're coming back together this year to develop another 4 modules. So at the end, we will have an 8-part learning series for our bus drivers around managing student behavior on their buses. And it's wonderful to have that collaboration because, let's face it, the bus drivers don't want to hear from someone like me who hasn't driven a bus. They want to hear from somebody who's currently practicing or has recently been in that same position. So we're building those facilitators to be able to do that. We hire new teachers every year. We have hired just over 300 teachers to start off this school year, so we have a lot of mentors in place to help meet those new teacher needs. So we've been working to build their facilitation capacities as well, and we'll continue that work throughout the year this year. Another area of focus to meet Goal 6 this year is around content development and refinements to the supports that we provide. So we're working to be very responsive to the needs of the schools. A classified example that I want to share with you this evening is around a learning series that we have built. So we know it's very helpful for people to be able to engage in learning more than one time, to get that depth of learning that they need to really put things in practice. So in order to do that effectively, we have an 8-part learning series available to our educational assistants around managing behaviors in the classroom. Over 53% of our educational assistants have completed at least one of these modules. A certified example for you, going back to our new teachers that I mentioned earlier. The new teachers last year completed a survey at the end of the year to give us feedback on the mentoring supports that they had received throughout the year. One of the areas that I'm highlighting for you tonight, 89% of them agreed that the mentoring they received was personalized to their individual needs, not just general new teacher mentoring across the board, but the services they were getting were personalized to what they specifically needed. So we're continuing to work with our mentors and improve their skills as well, so we can continue to see that percentage rise. The last area I want to highlight for you this evening is another certified support that we are now providing. COMP is a classroom management program that we've had in the district for a very long time, but we're now ensuring that we're providing this learning to all of our new job-embedded and permanent hires before they ever step foot into the classroom with students. So pictured here, you can see some of our new hires with us. They spent 3 days in July going through that workshop to get ready for this school year before it begins. That's another program that we are offering as well to our residents, so they're having the opportunity to complete this workshop before they step into their very own classroom as well. So those are just a few of the highlights of how we're working to provide that targeted professional learning to all of the roles throughout the district this year. Do you have any questions for me?
Mr. Nelson?
All right. Thank you, Ms. Smith, for that presentation. Really good, and it's really good to know that our teachers are getting additional education. The more educated our teachers are, the better outcomes it'll be for students. My question just goes to, you mentioned that some teachers may go outside the district for additional training. Mm-hmm. Is that a course that they absorb themselves, or do we fund those courses for them?
It depends. So for example, there may be state events where some employees in the district go attend. There's usually no cost associated with them other than maybe the gas that it takes them to travel back and forth through it. But those are events that we don't capture within that system. That's considered something that's outside of the district and wasn't part of the data that I shared with you.
Okay, thank you.
The required in-service hours for certified teachers now?
So the state outlines that teachers need to receive 30 hours of in-service each year. We have 12 of them built into the district's calendar, so they have to get 18 hours on their own outside of the workday.
Do they still have to take that suicide prevention class?
Yes, ma'am. There are quite a few courses that are mandated that teachers have to take. They've spent a lot of time in the opening days of August taking care of a lot of those, and that is one of them.
Now, what about classified? Is there required a number of hours that they have to obtain?
There is not a specific number of hours that they have to obtain now.
Even bus drivers, they don't have a specific?
I don't believe so, no. No.
All right, Mr. Garland?
Yeah, I have a question. You might not be able to answer it. If you can, I'm quite sure that Dr. Luna can. How will the new recess hours fit into this plan, that the teaching plan that you have and the things that the teachers are doing day to day in the classroom? Can y'all answer that for me?
Sure. So the new state law is 40 minutes. We had already had 30 minutes built in. So we were able to accommodate for the extra 10, and we worked with principals for that schedule.
Okay, thank you. I thought it probably didn't have anything to do with this, but I need an answer anyway.
Okay, anybody else? All righty, thank you.
Thank you.
All righty. Board members' comments? Nobody? Aaron? Go ahead, Mr. Mabry.
I just want to welcome our students back this week and let our students, teachers, and staff know that we're praying for them and hope they have a great school year. Also want to thank the board last month for the resolution for the certificate of needs. I'm sure you all read that they passed. And again, thank you guys for joining with our city council and county commission to get this passed. Last month at this meeting, I had something on the agenda that I pushed because of the budget withholding from the federal government that was potentially out there. Those things have been resolved. The funds have been released in some resorts and some are coming. Dr. Luna Vetter shared with me that she is confident all the funds the 12 million, I believe, that was there is going to get released. So at the next meeting, I'm going to have a budget amendment that I'm going to be putting on the agenda to speak about. It's going to be about middle school wrestling. I'm going to ask the board to have a vote, and we'll have the discussion next meeting, so I won't go into all the details. But I want to add into the budget this year to be able to launch middle school wrestling. I have a long background in the why behind that, but I'll be proposing this budget amendment to allow that to happen. I believe our programs in our current state right now, they're all in the high school. I believe wholeheartedly that we have the ability to do so much better if we're able to develop our students younger. And a lot of the programs, you especially look at the boys wrestling programs, they at the state level dominate, the schools that dominate had these middle school programs. And it's been since the early 2000s since we've been able to accomplish a state championship here in Montgomery County for our wrestling program. So putting that out there, we'll have a discussion at the next meeting and we'll vote on it. And I calling out to our wrestling community, come to the meeting, and we'd love to hear from you. Thank you.
Anybody else? County commissioners?
I did have one question. Have we had any, I know we're 3 days in, any feedback one way or another on the cell phone policies? I know I was super excited to see that. I'd be curious if there's been any feedback yet from principals or administrators, anything like that.
Everything we have heard so far has actually been, for the most part, favorable. Walking through classrooms at middle schools and high schools, we're not seeing the phones. Again, I know it's new, so we'll probably have more the next meeting.
Thank you.
Okay, other business? Dr. Linevetter?
Good evening, board members. It's been a busy week as we welcomed back students full-time. Our initial counts are favorable, but we'll continue to monitor numbers over the next couple of weeks as they tend to fluctuate. Our back-to-school roadshows for faculty and staff occurred last week at each high school complex. You can tell that we skipped last year, and the schools had 2 years to plan because they brought a lot of energy, excitement, complete with costumes and themes. I would encourage you to check out social media if you haven't so far to see what those were like. I'm also happy to report that we are over 99% filled for staffing for all classroom teaching and special education positions across the district. Additionally, we have 60 educators who are deemed rehires, meaning they left our district at some point in time and have chosen to return to CMCSS this year. Mr. Lanier, this concludes my report for the evening.
Okay. With that, we're adjourned.